Oh, we're going to talk about getting money. We're going to talk about building muscle. We're going to talk about building your mindset. Money, muscle, mindset. That's all we talk about on the Victory Talk podcast. You know what it is. If you are ready to get some info that'll help you build your money, muscle, and mindset, you are in the right place, motherfucker. Let's start the show. Oh, shit. You know what it is. Welcome to another episode of the Victory Talk podcast. This is episode 193. We doing this shit, man. Doing this shit. I am your host, Big Brandon Carter, BBC, King Keto, the king of ketosis, also known as Gymnasium Jesus, Jesus de Gimnasio para mi gente de la Washington Heights de la Dykeman. You heard? And you know what I'm saying? I'm your host, but I'm not alone. I'm not here by myself doing this shit alone. Fuck no. I'm joined by the best producer in the motherfucking game. He came all the way from motherfucking Saudi Arabia, somewhere in the Middle East, Iran. That's what it is. Yeah, Iran or Persia, Sand Asia, right? You know what I'm saying? Sand Asia. The homie Nima, you know what it is.
Super excited.
I'm saying King Keto, Prince of Persia, it's going down. All right, you know what I'm saying? And not, but yo, listen. You know what else we got? Yeah, in the other room, in the kitchen where she belongs, is Minovia. You know what I'm saying? My big titted girlfriend. What's she doing in the kitchen? She at the motherfucking counter, man in the super chats, making sure nobody talk crazy. They get motherfucking kicked the fuck out of here forever. You know what I'm saying? And she's going to be reading your super chats. You leave a super chat, man. Hey, man, you can get a big booty and big titted Latina to read your shit. Mike snuck up on me. To read your shit. You know what I'm saying? Get that acknowledgement. It's going down. It's going down like a retard on roller skates. Can you say retard on YouTube?
We are about to find
out. We're about to find out. We're about to find out. You know what it is. All right. So after I saw Elon do the Nazi salute, I feel like anything goes, man. Trump's in office, man. You can do whatever you want. I can say retard. Elon out here, motherfucking Elon out here doing Nazi salutes. It's popping out here. Freedom of speech. But before we get started today, we got a lot of serious shit we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about your money, your muscle, mindset. All right. But before we do that, we got to talk about the motherfucking sponsors of the show. We wouldn't be here without our sponsors. First sponsor is the newsletter. big money methods. All right. This is written by me and the homies. All right. And you go hit that link in the description twice, and then put your email in here, hit subscribe twice a week. You're going to get sent articles on methods to help you make what? Big money. All right. Written by me. Boom. I wrote 4 things I wish I knew when I was 20. You know what I'm saying? Psst, real shit. Right. The homie Sing, one of my top copywriters, he's writing shit, about getting profits, making money. The homie Chris, he wrote a new article about body weight exercise, calisthenics, shit of that nature. And it's tons of fucking free game in here for you motherfuckers. All right. Make sure you subscribe to that immediately. All right. Now, Nima and I, for a while, we've been working on a top secret project. All right. We haven't talked about it much. Okay. It's been under wraps, but we've been working on something that's going to change the game. This may be the most important product to ever be released. Right. There's been a lot of important inventions over the last 100, 200 years. We had the railroad, automobiles, Velcro, right? But now we got one that's better than all of them. Thought repellent. Thought repellent is the easy to apply spray to keep the fucking hoes away. So here's the thing. You guys, we all love Fresh and Fit. We watch Fresh and Fit, and they if you watch Fresh and Fit, Myron loves women more than anyone I know. However, he doesn't like the women that are bad women, hoes, sluts, thoughts, skeezers, skanks, Jezebels, Puerto Ricans. And what he does is his words, not mine. Right. And then what we did was we developed an easy to apply spray. You can spray this on your body. The good women, they'll be like, God damn, you smell fucking amazing. What is that? Right? You'd be like, baby, that's thought repellent. But if one of these thoughts smell it, they might go into an epileptic seizures, might start foaming at the mouth. They might, you ever spray Raid on a roach, right? You know what I'm saying? And it goes on his back and it starts breakdancing, right? That's the bitch might do some shit like that, right? It's been genetically engineered to only repel the DNA of thoughts. And this is going to keep you safe. It's going to keep you safe because it's almost summertime. Summertime is also the thought breeding season. All right. The thought breeding season. And they going to be out here trying to infect your life, man. They'll ruin it. The wrong bitch will ruin your whole fucking life. Right. She won't have access to you if you spray yourself with thought repellent. All right. You feel me? We doing God's work, or Nima, Allah's work. Whatever you believe in, Buddha's work. Fucking Ra, the sun god, fucking Poseidon. I don't care what you believe in. We helping, we doing his work. All right. If you like me, you believe in baby Jesus. Black baby Jesus. You know what I'm saying? We doing his work. All right. And Black Jesus told me to do this. I've been the way God told Noah to build that big ass boat and put a bunch of animals on that shit. True story. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. It's got to be true, right? Black baby Jesus told me that I need to do something to keep men safe from thoughts. Because you got to remember, let's go back to the Bible. How does shit start off? Chapter 1. God say, yo, don't fuck. God say, yo, all this shit here, it's all for you, players. He's talking to Adam. Hey, I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, hey, yo, look here, player. All this on this earth, it's all for you, man. I just need you to do one thing for me. It's the only thing I ask of you. Don't fuck with this tree. The apples on this tree, that's just like, leave that alone, homie. And then Adam was like, hey, man, ain't no problem, man. Ain't no problem. I ain't fucking with that shit. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna give you this girl. let me see something right quick. Snatched his rib out about him. Went over here. He made a woman out of it. Now, it's probably a rush job because he made because this bitch was crazy. This bitch out here talking to the snakes, right? Talking to the serpents. All right. And the serpent was like, hey, look here, Eve. Look here. If Adam was a real nigga, he'd eat the apple. Fuck what God is talking about. And Eve was like, you right, snake. If my man wasn't a bitch, if he was a real nigga, he would be like, I'm going to eat this apple and everything else. And then she goes to Adam. Adam. The Garden of Eden was in Africa. Everybody know that, right? It's like, Adam, you a bitch. If you was a real nigga, you would eat the Adam apple. You would eat the Adam. And he was like, well, you know, okay, I'll eat the Adam. I'll eat the apple. All right. Then he ate the apple. Now we all got to go to school. We all got to get jobs and wear clothes. Thanks to him, right? She was the first thought, is what I'm trying to say. If Adam had thought repellent, man, that wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? Eve was the first thought. All right. So we need to keep you safe. All your super chats go towards development of thought repellent. If we get enough super chat money, by in enough time, we're gonna have this out by summer, all right? But it's all up to you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, check this out. I think there's been a hero who's already contributed to the fun. Let's acknowledge this brother. Let's go. With Fitty. Let's have some titties read that shit. You know what I'm saying?
We have Leo. Yo, BBC, I'm back on Uber after the ban from a false report. Been putting in more hours since and making more. Sounds super simple, but what you say works. Also, I want to buy shares of Thought Repellent. Let me know when it goes on the market.
Yeah. Hey, man, we're going to be there for you, Leonardo. And shout out to this brother, man. He was working real hard. And then one of the haters got him banned off Uber. Now he back, man, riding around getting it. All right, he back riding around getting it. I got some motherfuckers fired off Uber before. Motherfucker, I was like far away, and he's like, "Oh, I can't go that far." After I got in the car, I'm like, "Motherfucker, you know." And I called Uber. I was like, "Yo, check this out, man. This nigga right here." And she was like, "Oh man, it's like the 5th time he did this. We firing him. He Indian. I don't know. She was Indian who said that, right? I don't know how to do her accent. Nima, can you do it?
No.
Damn. Damn. But anyway, yeah, I got some niggas fired off Uber before too, man. They was out here hating. Anyway, I'm glad you back, Leonardo. Let's get it, man. Shout out to you. Hey guys. First thing we're gonna talk about. I want to. Summer is on its way. A lot of y'all want to get ripped. Some of y'all want to be in good shape, and I want to talk about how you can accomplish that goal, man. So let's get into it. Let's. I got a few habits that you can actually do. They're extreme, but I got a few habits that help you get ripped for summer. All right, let's get it. You fat. That's why you watching this video. But it's almost summertime and you don't want to be fat for the summer. That's gay as hell. I'm sorry. That's gay as hell. You want to be in good shape by the summer. right? So you can actually start having sex with women instead of your hand. Let this be the last summer you spend gooning, and if you follow this if you follow the tips in this video, it'll be the last summer you spend gooning, and you'll have the women swooning because now you finally in shape instead of being fat as fuck. And being fat in the summertime is the worst time to be fat because motherfuckers start sweating underneath the rolls and they start perspiring and stinking in places you ain't supposed to stink. You know? Then you got shit like this. I was with my son. We in CVS, and there's this fat lady, and my son was like, "Dad, is she? Dad, she's pregnant." Look, I'm like, "No, son, she's not pregnant. She's just fat. She's just fat." Let's not have that be you. You know what I'm saying? Let's not make that be you. Let's make sure this summer if you follow the advice in this video, I promise you will be super ripped by summer. All right, you'll be in the best shape of your life. I'm going to show you now, but these are extreme tips. These are extreme hacks. If you want extreme results, it's going to take extreme actions. This is not that shit that's sustainable. The shit I'm about to tell you is not sustainable and it's not supposed to be. I think that when fitness influencers tell you to have a sustainable diet, is because they think you're a fucking pussy. They want you to do some soft, weak shit. It's a motherfucking scam. Because check this out. To lose fat, you have to burn more calories than you consume. It's a mild form of starvation. Why the fuck would you want to sustain starvation? I say you get as ripped as you can, as fast as you can, and then once you hit your ideal body weight, then you do something sustainable. Sustain your ideal body weight, not sustain a caloric deficit. Unless, of course, you was a pussy, in which case you shouldn't watch this video. It's not for you, right? You need to go find some fucking 19-year-old bitch who's got a 12-week love yourself program, and you and your fucking mother can do that shit this summer. This is some hardcore shit I'm about to tell you over here. And it will get you ripped fast as hell, but most of y'all ain't tough enough to do this shit. Those among you who are tough enough, this will be the best summer of your life because you will be super fucking shredded. All right? Bitches will be wanting to touch your abs. Bitches will be wanting to touch your abs and touch your muscles and shit, you know, instead of you just touching yourself. All right? So let's get into it. The first extreme thing you're going to do to get ripped for summer is something, it's not extreme to me. I've been doing it for over a decade, but you're just going to do it for a brief period of time. All right. Is you're going to start carrying a digital food scale with you wherever you go, and you're going to weigh your food all the time. Right. I do this shit at fucking restaurants. I be at nice restaurants weighing my food. People, and a lot of times people, when I say to do this, people's like, "Oh man, I don't want to look crazy weighing my food in a restaurant." Listen, I'm not a bitch. I don't give a fuck about what another motherfucker thinks about me. Motherfuckers ain't fit to judge me. All right, I'm a G. I'll fuck you up. All right, I'm not trying to be fucking classy or anything. I break the scale out at every restaurant. The fucking best restaurants in the fucking world, I'm breaking my scale out. All right. And what I do is I got several these, like, you know, sling bags, right? Backpacks, Louis Vuitton bags. And what I do is I keep a bunch of things in here. Right, man. Let me show you some of the stuff that's in my bag. But I keep my scale in. Let me show you something in the bag. I got, you know, portable. No. I got what is this? I keep GoPro in here for when I'm filming vlogs. I keep a portable charger in here, a fucking big one. Pause. Right? Portable charger. What else is in here? Another portable charger. Sunglasses. Extra magazine. Another portable charger. Keto snacks. We'll talk about this later. And a digital food scale. Keep this shit with me everywhere I go, all the time, right? And I weigh my food and I track my macros in MyFitnessPal. All right. Matter of fact, everything I eat. And sometimes when people say, man, what about food that has like a lot of ingredients? How do you track that? How do you weigh it? I won't fucking eat that shit. I won't eat anything I can't track. Right? So what about a casserole? What if my fucking mom or my girlfriend makes a motherfucking casserole? Tell that bitch to stop doing that shit. At least until summer, right? You need to fucking make single ingredient dishes, ho. Stop fucking around. Stop trying to stop me from accomplishing my goals. You just like Eve from the Bible. May Adam eat some bullshit. Now we all got to suffer. Let's stop that, right? Let's stop that shit. Don't let her sabotage your shit, all right? And then what you want to do is, now you're going to be tracking everything you eat. Let me just show you something real quick. Here's a study done by Duke University where they had a bunch of fat motherfuckers. All they told them to do was track their calories for 3 months. Just track their macros, everything they eat. And they used MyFitnessPal in this study, right? And over the course of 3 months, they lost an average of 5 pounds. You might be thinking 5 pounds in 3 months. That's not a lot. That's not a big deal. Here's the thing. They didn't give them any diet plan. They didn't tell them to be vegan. They didn't tell them to do keto. They didn't tell them to do paleo. They didn't even have them in a caloric deficit, right? They just said, track what you eat instead of putting anything in your mouth like a whore, the way you've been doing your whole fucking life. All right. And just the mere act of tracking, they lost an average of 5 pounds. Now imagine if you have a diet plan, right? If you actually have a plan, tracking worked with no plan. No workout routine, nothing, just fucking tracking. Imagine if you actually had a plan. Here's the plan you're going to have, right? Here's what I want you to do. Hold on, don't show it yet. Oh, I want you to go into ChatGPT and put in your age, gender, weight, and activity level, and then ask it to calculate your maintenance calories. I'll show you exactly what that means. So I'm gonna bring up ChatGPT right quick. Yeah, I got it on temporary because I don't want it to save this fucking shit I'm putting in here. All right. What? Oh, let me temporary. Yeah, because I don't want them to fucking remember this fat boy shit I'm about to put in here. I am a 42-year-old. Oh, fuck. All right, I gotta type it. Yeah. I am a. Oh, fuck. I am a 42-year-old man. I weigh 207 pounds. I work out for 5 to 7 times a week for an hour, right? So you're going to put in your age, gender, weight, spell check, age, gender, weight, and activity level, like how much you work out, right? Then you're going to say Boom. Calculate my maintenance calories. Boom. All right. To calculate the maintenance calories, blah, 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 BMR, blah, 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 blah. Just give me the facts, ho. All right. All right. Maintenance calories between 200, depending on how I do workouts are. I didn't like this. Is usually better than this.
Yeah, you can ask her, give me an average.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Your maintenance is so. This is the first time I did it, where the hoe gave me a fucking range that was wider than I thought. The reason I say hoe because my ChatGPT is a girl, right? So the hoe gave me a range that was wider than I like. So give me an average. All right, cool. And this is about right. This is about right to me. This is right. All right, cool. All right. So the thing is, we want to be in a caloric deficit, right? So we want to make sure that we're burning less calories than this each day, right? So here's the thing. To burn fat, every pound of fat you want to lose, you have to burn 3,500 extra calories, right? So if we did something like a 500 calorie deficit a day, right, that'll put us at about 2,500, right? So you want to pick a deficit that you want to be in at least 500. I mean, at least 500 calorie deficit, and don't eat underneath that. So you can say, hey man, you could do something like this. Make me a meal plan that has me in a 500 calorie deficit each day. Now, I don't do this shit personally. I don't do this shit. I don't do like a meal plan because I've been training for so long and dieting for so long. So I look at it like a game. I put the numbers in MyFitnessPal. I get MyFitnessPal open and I have targets. And it's like, okay, I look at it like as I'm eating throughout the day, I'm putting food in there and I'm like, all right, I need to make sure I hit this amount of protein, this how many calories, excuse me, and this amount of protein and not get and not lose. I need to hit this amount of protein with this amount of calories. I got to make sure I don't get it. This was like a game to me. But if you're not as new to this, you might need a legit meal plan. Cool, man. This bitch will give it to you. ChatGPT will make sure you have it. All right. Boom. It's a nice meal plan. Cool. Fine. All good. And the work is done for you. You could just follow this. Right. But me, I keep, I'm not out here meal prepping. That's like nerdy as fuck. Right. So, but you can. Right. But I just keep the scale with me and I'm just tracking as I got. It's like a video game that I'm playing each day. Like you motherfuckers out here playing War of Minecraft, right? You know what I'm saying? World of Minecraft. You out here motherfucking playing Call of Duty. I'm playing MyFitnessPal. That's the game I'm playing out here. And I play to win. All right. But you can follow a meal plan too. Cool. All right. So you do that. That's the first thing you do, right? That's the very first thing to do. But you got to make sure you're hitting your macros. You don't eat nothing without weighing it. Or you can do this. There's some stuff you can't, some stuff you don't need to weigh. For example, if you get prepackaged food, like let's say, boom, say this bag of nuts, pause. This bag of nuts, no diddy, right? I can scan the barcode on this nut sack, no diddy, and hey yo, right? And then it'll show up right in MyFitnessPal, the macros and the calories, right? Your mama be trying to scan my nut sack before she puts it in her mouth. I'm just playing. I wouldn't fuck your mama. She fat. All right, so let's go. So that's the main thing we're doing. We're gonna start tracking everything we eat in MyFitnessPal. Keeping a scale with you will help keep you honest, right? Or you can, if you don't want to do that, you could just meal prep everything, but or eat prepackaged shit, right? And most restaurants have the macros. If you like chain restaurants have the macros of the food you're eating in there, so you can get a good estimate. All right. The next thing you do, step 2. This is where it starts getting even more extreme. Is you're gonna walk between 2,000 and 4,000 steps per day. Right? That's a lot of fucking walking. That's a lot of walking, right? But walking is one of the best forms of cardio because it's low intensity, right? So it's not hard on your joints. So you can do more of it, right? You out here sprinting, you're gonna get fucking tired. You might get sore and shit, especially if you fat, right? But walking, anybody can walk, right? And I'm sorry, you're going to be walking between 20,000 and 40,000 steps per day. I know it's a lot, right? Walking is one of the best forms you got there. Yeah. All right. Right. But it is also help you retain more muscle mass, right? Because it's such low intensity. You're not burning off glycogen and your body won't, it's not because it's aerobic and not anaerobic, you'll retain more muscle mass because you're going slow, right? Walk. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people got mad at me for saying 40,000 steps a day. I've done it when I was getting ripped, right? If that's too much for you, that's too much work. Then you could just do 20,000 steps a day. People do it all the time. In fact, go to YouTube. If you don't think you can do 20,000 steps a day, I'm going to show you that you are a bitch, right? Hold on. As you can see, it's fucking tiny white women doing it, right? Unless these hoes are tougher than you, unless these tiny white women are tougher than you, you can walk 20,000 steps a day, right? What people took issue was when I said 40,000. In fact, the homie friend of the podcast, friend of the channel, Greg Doucette, he had a real issue with me saying 40,000. He made YouTube videos about it. Here's him talking about it on Fresh and Fit.
But he's Brandon Carter. He does that. He basically like is on a bike cycling while he's doing work and stuff like that.
That's another thing you can do. Myron's talking about how I got an exercise bike, a desk bike or dike, and I work and paddle on that shit. But you can also just walk, right? That's just expensive. Just walk. Walking is free. All right.
Actually helps him keep lean, or he walks a lot as well.
He was
oh my God. He recommended some crazy videos. He was saying you need to do 40,000 steps a day in one video. I made a video on him talking about that. I'm like, dude, 40,000 steps. Do you know how long that takes? 2,300 steps is a mile for me. I'm like, you're going to walk like for 4 to 6 hours a day to get those steps in. It works for.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Again, this is extreme shit. Right, even the video he's talking to, hey, it's classic Greg. We all love Greg, right? And so the 40, you clicked on a video that said extreme fat loss tips, right? Even the video that he's referencing that I reckon it said extreme shit, right? It's not regular shit. It's not basic shit. It's not everyday shit. It's not regular nigga shit. It's extreme shit, right? So yeah, you're gonna be walking hours a day. Right. When I was walking 40 hours, when I was doing my 40,000 steps, I needed to get ripped. It was summertime. Right. So I'd fucking wake up, get on the treadmill, fucking walk for fucking an hour or two in the morning. Right. Take another hour walk at lunch, walk a few more hours after fucking work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, nigga. That's what you going to do. It's extreme shit. Now, check this out. Listen to what he said. This is Greg said. Greg Doucette. We all love Greg. Listen to what he says.
For sure, but who got time to walk 40,000 steps for 6 hours a day to get those steps in? It works for sure, but who got time to walk 40,000 steps?
Me, nigga. I got time. He said it, but what he say? It works for sure. Right. And that's Greg. That's Coach Greg talking. Coach Greg, if you don't believe me, Coach Greg said it works for sure. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you can just, but yeah, get your walk on, get your roll on. Everybody get your roll on and start walking, man. It's a game changer. I'm telling you, it's the fucking easiest card. You can put on some podcasts. You can put on some audiobooks. You can learn why you burn, right? Or fucking go on a fucking walk, incorporate your family. Walk your dog, walk with your kids, walk your girlfriend, right? Do all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? Get your walk on. I'm telling you, at least 20,000 steps a day. If you are the toughest among us, will do 40,000 steps a day. You will get fucking ripped. I'm telling you. What did Greg say? It works for sure. That's what he said. It works for sure. But who got time for it? The toughest among us. Shout out to Greg, friends of the channel. Every time he does a video about me, I make a ton of money. So shout out to him, man. He's made, if he makes another one, I'll buy another watch. Shout out to Greg, man. We love you over here, bro. All right. But see, what this is going to do is going to put you in more of a deficit. We're already in a diet deficit because we're eating below our maintenance calories, right? But these 40,000 steps a day. Let's ask ChatGPT. Hold up. Look here. If I walk 40,000 steps per day, how many calories will I burn?
All right. Burning calories from walking depends on a few factors like your weight, pace, and terrain. On average, if you weigh around 200 pounds, you might burn roughly 0.04 to 0.05 calories per step. So for 40,000 steps, that's around 1,600 to 2,000 calories. If your weight or pace is different, that number can vary.
What does this whole say? It's 16,000 to 2,000 extra calories, right? We're already in a 500 calorie. Yeah, 1,600 to 2,000 extra calories, right? So we're already in a 500 calorie deficit. Now we're fucking pushing it even further. You get what I'm saying? Remember, you need to burn 3,500 calories extra for every pound of fat you want to lose. This is if you burn an extra 2,000 calories a day on top of the 500 you off of the top 500 that you're burning because you're consuming less. Yo, man, you're gonna hit that 3,500 faster. You will lose way more weight faster. Now, you may be concerned about losing muscle in such a deep deficit, right? Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to turn it up a notch with the next tips. But before we get into that, I got to bring the homie Young Candlestick in this bitch because we're going to talk about the market recap. All right, let's get it.
Hey, Brandon.
Yo, what up, homie? What's good, man?
Not a lot going on in the markets. It's a holiday market right now, which is grinding sideways. So basically, the S&P.
No. You know what is going on. Before we get into anything, what did I say? What did I call out on Tuesday on the market? Can you just?
I was going to bring it up.
Refresh these motherfuckers.
Gave you guys a baller gold trade. Look at this. All-time highs. If you just bought one MGC gold contract, you could have made $500 in one night.
Yeah,
$500.
No, listen, my P&L is more than that.
Oh, there you go.
I'm over because I bought it like right around here. I'm up like around 1,000 per MGC contract.
That's badass. That's so cool. Imagine
that's what I told you, motherfuckers. Gold, man. We fucking with the gold.
Seriously, and gold tends to outperform during recessionary times. Gold is outperforming because the dollar is getting absolutely shat on. And the dollar's kind of a big reason why the market's still having some trouble. It's not really, the market's not pressing to all-time highs or pressing up because the dollar is super weak. And that's just a bit ominous. And if you don't know, the dollar and gold, they're inversely correlated. So as the dollar drops, gold tends to go higher because gold can tend to hedge the dollar. So that is interesting. And moving forward with the stock market, if the dollar starts to break this support, I think that the stock market can start to follow. The dollar is starting to be a leading indicator for the SPY, for the S&P 500. Okay, so that's
and gold prices are inverse to the dollar, right?
Yep. Gold goes up, dollar goes down, dollar goes down, man. Gold goes up. Which one wags the other one's tail? You know, usually the dollar leads, but yeah, they're inversely correlated.
The almighty dollar, man. You know what I'm saying? So Trump keep fucking up the dollar. We're gonna make some of these dollars off of the fucking gold.
Exactly. And then you can convert that currency back over and then you can spend more money. You preserve your purchasing power.
How I'm trading it is with gold futures contracts.
Yep. That's the easiest way, you know?
Yeah.
Because you can hold it overnight. It moves peacefully.
There's no PDT rule. There's all types of shit, you know?
Yeah. You don't need $25,000 in your account. You do need a margin account and usually about $2,000 to $4,000 in your margin account. And you do need to be approved for futures, but it's really flexible. I think it's the way to go.
Yeah, you just say anything when you're trying to get approved for futures on Webull or Robinhood. Just say anything. They're not fact checking that shit, bro.
Net worth 500K.
All that shit is just so they can have plausible deniability. If you fucking, hey man, he said he was a fucking billionaire, so we approved him.
they want to approve you because they want to rack the commissions. You know, that's why all these different brokerages like Webull is coming out with futures trading. Robinhood.
Robinhood, you know, a Victinator, that's what we call the victory unit. People watch victory unit. One of the Victinators told me about
Robinhood coming out. Robinhood during the morning live.
Yep. And then somebody did it on here first, and then I asked on the morning live, and then somebody confirmed it. It might have been the same dude. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's what's up. Robinhood does it, but I like it on Webull because you can. I like this trading with Webull. I like holding shit with Robinhood, like investing, but trading. You trade contracts. You don't fucking buy and hold contracts forever unless you. I mean, futures contracts, right? I like trading on Webull better. And you can trade off the trading view charts.
Yeah, seriously. Webull is also a really good mobile trading platform too.
Yeah, it's lit.
App. So basically what we're looking at is if the dollar continues to drop, if gold continues to go up, that can put pressure on the S&P 500. Now, moving forward, I expect SPY to actually stay within this range. The Wednesday pump candle when Trump pulled back the tariffs and created a 90-day delay. I think we're going to stay inside this big ass candles range for a couple days and even for a couple of weeks. And so when markets stay sideways like this, iron condors tend to do really well. And that just means you make money when stocks go nowhere. You don't want them to go up a lot. You don't want them to go down a lot. And I was trading a lot of SPX and SPX credit spreads. You can see some of my positions. And what's really cool about SPX is it has tax advantages. It's liquid. It's easy to get in and out. And we had some really good trades this week on SPX. So even just yesterday, we turned $190 into $500 in victory trades. Just yesterday, man. We bought a put debit spread. It was down by about $100, but the SPY ended up selling off. It closed underneath the range. Boom. You don't even have to close out the trade. It doesn't even use a day trade. So it's super cool. I haven't had just winning trades. You know, I had to close a Microsoft Iron Condor for a loss. I was expecting it. So, you know, not every single trade's a winner, but the SPX trades are on fire. Futures trading is on fire. I think SPX and futures trading, I think that's like the only strategies that I'm going to be implementing into 2025. Of course, I'll swing trade a little bit more here and there, but really what's going on is just all assets are getting crushed, and I'm forecasting neutral. Yeah, you know, it's true. I'm forecasting sideways on the market short term, But I think that the market, the way it's trading, it might start to test the lows and even break them. And if that happens, many, many stocks are going to get absolutely crushed.
Yeah.
Because they have higher betas than the SPY. So SPY's down 1%. Your individual tech stock might be down 3%. You know, that's just how it goes when we're looking at high beta names.
Guys, if you want to trade with us, go on our free Discord, Victory Unit. It's our free Discord. There's a lot of free shit in there for you. But if you want to trade with us, hit up Greg or Young Candlestick in the Discord. You got to hit him up. He won't hit you up. Hit him up and say, yo, hey man, I want to join Victory Trades. That way you can get Greg's trade alerts as he calls them, right? Because I take them too, right? And you can trade with us live every morning. We trade the market live every morning, post our wins or losses. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. We talk about what's going on in the market. It's lit out here.
It's totally lit. And you can ask questions unlimitedly. Like you can learn really, really quickly. Like some people, like they just joined like a couple months ago and they're way smarter than the average investor because they're just getting that mentor feedback like right away. It's fast.
We're getting it popping. We're getting it popping. All right. You know, yo, I want to ask you about American stock market going in the shitter. We all know that. Right? Yeah. It's on its way down. We'll see what happens. You
Investors
know, maybe
are pulling out.
Trump can do what we know about Trump is he gonna keep it volatile. Right? That's not a political statement. It's not a political statement, right? I'm not, I'm apolitical, right? But you know what's in a fucking we already talked about gold. Germany, man.
EWG. Let's check it out.
Pull up EWG. Man, it did a nice pullback. Come on, man.
We also stated that if you want to be patient for Germany, you can wait for this support.
We said it. And then look at it. Bounce right off of that support.
Bounce. Volume was decent at the beginning of the bounce. The volume is tapering off, which is slightly concerning. I would just give Germany a neutral rating, but that's good considering that the market's bearish.
Like bearish. the whole our market is shitting the bed, right? Yeah. But Germany is popping now. What I don't like is that Japan shit is popping too, and I don't like when they get together.
Yeah,
historically, when these motherfuckers get together, bad shit happens.
That's
what I'm saying. When they I don't want these motherfuckers thinking it's time to get the band back together. You know,
Japan's stock market hasn't done shit for a while, but
like decades.
If EWJ, that's Japan's stock market, so that's the SPY for Japan. EWJ,
their shit's been going sideways for decades.
I think that could be a potential bull flag. You know,
I'm saying it right. I think Japan is about to go crazy.
Monthly bull flag, multiple months of upside. I would just wait for the trigger. 73. Set some price alerts there.
I'm telling you, listen, man, you too, man. You need to do it for victory trades too, man. Like you're saying, Japan and Germany on another pullback. Japan, if they break that fucking that high base, that monthly high base.
Your stop loss can go right underneath 56. Buy over 73. Man. You do have some risk. This is your risk, but you have multiple months of potential reward.
And the biggest risk is Germany and Japan doing good at the same time. I don't fuck with that. I don't like when they fucking get it popping together.
It is fascinating to see.
Yeah. So
one other market that's doing well, I keep harping on the dollar because that's kind of what's moving everything. Bitcoin's doing really well. And you brought this up last time, Brandon. Yeah. It's doing really well. It's holding strong. It kind of broke this little downtrend line. It's kind of stabilizing. Bitcoin looks neutral to bullish. I would be super bearish Bitcoin if it breaks $75,000. Super, super bearish. I probably wouldn't short Bitcoin, but I'd short MSTR since it's highly levered. But MSTR is looking just fine. But if MSTR starts to break 240, I think MSTR can drop 25, 30% pretty quickly.
Okay.
So that's just my thoughts on Bitcoin. Last time I talked about how XLF, I'm going to be looking at building some short positions. I think that it's in rotation to go bearish. So XLF puts are in play. They haven't really done too much just yet. I also mentioned Netflix long.
Yeah. You said go long Netflix. I was just about to ask you about these motherfuckers. Let's go.
Yes.
They crushed earnings, right?
They had earnings report. Absolutely crushed earnings. Stock is up after hours, 5%, which is really good in this market.
Yeah.
And What's cool about Netflix is that they're immune to the tariffs. They're just like, they're just chilling. They're doing their own thing. It's also recession proof because people don't usually cancel Netflix when there's a recession because they can watch all those movies at home.
Yeah.
They also have an ad plan. So if you want to pay a lower price, that can gather so many more customers and they can make money from those ads that are placed on Netflix.
They got a good business model, man.
They do. They have a really, really good business model and it's really, really sticky. So they're retaining all of their customers.
Netflix just because Dave. Every once in a while, Dave Chappelle's going to come out with a fucking some new shit, and it's just for that.
Yeah.
But my girl, man, she be watching all types. She be watching like I don't even know, man. British people,
there's so
British
much.
people dating on a beach or some shit. Like
Too hot to handle.
yeah. British people. I was in there once. It was some British motherfuckers on a beach talking to a robot. I'm like, the fuck are you? The fuck is happening? But she loves it.
Yeah,
she loves it. All right.
Netflix just for one series, one show, and they just have so much market share. It's great. Yeah. So I like Netflix dip buys. It's kind of like a recession-proof stock. Just kind of keep an eye on the trend line. It's a bit overbought, so I'd wait, but keep an eye on Netflix longs.
Berkshire Hathaway, Greg.
Let's check it out.
I've been talking about Berkshire for mad long.
You have. It's doing its thing. It's just kind of consolidating.
Yeah, it's consolidating.
With more strength,
Yeah. It's
all
building up more power.
If the S&P gets really oversold or breaks the lows, I'm looking at Berkshire. Buffett got into cash right before this big ass correction.
Yeah, didn't he?
Imagine all the stocks that he's going to buy at really good deals. Why even put in the F? Well, you can diversify your portfolio and just go with the winners and just join Berkshire once Buffett scoops up all those deals at the bottom.
I'm saying
he's going to do all the work for us. It's
yeah. I want to ask you about a crowd favorite real quick. About the money we made a lot of money off this one.
Yeah.
Celsius.
Hell yeah.
We made a lot of money off Celsius back in the day.
And Celsius has been one of my number one stocks. So to recap last year, we caught this kind of like flag break, boom, we ride it up. We average up, boom, flag break, it goes up. We got out just before it started to dump.
D7 used to tell me that when it makes that M formation, he said that M stands for murder.
Yep, M for murder. Yep.
He said that M stands for murder, man.
It's true. Yeah, it's like a double top formation. It confirms when it breaks the neckline. Boom. Nothing but sell side activity. I even caught the low on Celsius this year. I was buying near 22 and 21.
You was, and you were saying it on the podcast.
I was saying it on the podcast. Boom, it gets a 50% pop, 60% pop. I'm all out. So I haven't been riding it lately. The fair value of Celsius is about $36 a share. So to me, the risk to reward isn't really worth it. It's above fair value, and we have a weak market. Now, if Celsius could maybe come down to like 28, there could be maybe like a short-term dip buy, but that's really about it. You could sell 28 strike cash secured puts. And that's pretty much it. I don't see any amazing setups. It could maybe break this flag. I would only day trade that though. I wouldn't swing trade it.
All right. You ready to short Lululemon or what? Let's
check it out. Lulu's an interesting stock. I'm thankful that they created this business though. Man, Lulu's got all over the place. It does look bearish. Yeah. I would say this is kind of like a bear pennant. You have a flagpole. You have lower highs.
Or what? What are we doing, man?
I think Lulu's a short underneath 240. Just set price alert underneath 240. If it breaks, grab some monthly put options and just take profits into new lows.
All right. Now, one of your favorites, Google.
Yeah.
Right.
Google declared a monopoly
court
today.
Case, right? Yeah.
Declared a monopoly. I really like the stock fundamentally. The chart's just damaged, Fair value is $230 a share on Google. That's the Morningstar analyst fair value. That's 53% potential upside. I think if your time horizon's longer than 3 years, you can start getting really good gains if you accumulate Google down here. That's not financial advice. That's just my opinion. They do report earnings as well on April 24th. I can ask AI to help with a prediction for AI for earnings because it helped me catch this move on TSM. All debit spreads towards the close, took profits first thing in the morning, catching
I remember. Listen, this is a stock that's not on a lot of people's radar, but me being in the fitness industry,
Ooh.
I called this out last year, and you see it went haywire. Garmin.
Okay. So that's Equinox right there, new highs.
Oh, you guys
GRMN.
realize. Wow.
Garmin.
Yeah.
This is an ugly ass chart. But
The GR. Wait a minute. Were you on the same chart? I'm looking at it on weekly.
Yeah.
Daily.
Garmin. Yeah, Garmin on the weekly, it's pretty good. This kind of looks like a reversal formation whenever you have this.
It looks crazy on the daily. Yeah.
You kind of have this middle finger pattern. So that's where the stock like, fuck you. You know, it's got the middle finger. And generally when that happens, it starts to break down, you know. I would lean bearish as long as it's underneath 208. It's tough for me to say. If you're playing it short term, keep an eye on just these levels. It's really going to be correlated with the S&P 500. So if SPY drops, Garmin's going to drop, but probably not as much because it has relative strength. But there's a little high base right here over 195. You could probably day trade some call options if it breaks above there. I wouldn't overstay my welcome. 195 entry, take profit at 204, stop loss at 188.
All right. Yo. The last one, Ethereum.
Ooh.
Now, what I want you to do is I want you to put the MACD on.
Hell yeah.
Put up the MACD, just the regular shit.
Not the volume weighted one. That's
just
the
put the regular shit. Just put the regular shit.
The volume weighted MACD is more precise.
I know. I believe you, right? But do you see what I see?
Kind of. You see a bullish divergence right here.
Yeah,
MACD
exactly.
Highs. Yeah. You know, it could get a bounce. And this ties in with Bitcoin relative strength. If Ethereum is still weaker than Bitcoin, maybe it can start to catch up, maybe just a little bit. You know, RSI kind of making a bit of a higher low as price makes a lower low.
Come on, man.
The trade setup for this is, you know, you can buy it right here, slap your stop loss underneath 1387, and then pray for a pump.
Or hit the ETF. Well, I mean, same shit. Hit the ETF. Right, boom.
What's the ETF for Ethereum? Is it?
You told me
ETH.
All right.
Yeah.
Then,
does this have options?
Does it have options?
It
That's
does.
what I'm saying. So you hear what I'm saying? Like, yo, fucking leap calls. If you believe in it, you know what I'm saying?
They're
leap
not
calls.
super liquid, but they're not bad. Yeah. Look, ETH. You could just go out and buy the freaking 20 strike call. It's going to cost you about $150. And you're able to control 100 shares of this Ethereum.
The 20 strike. Okay, let's say you buy.
Just slap it on. I think that's just a good shot for October 2020. That's actually October 2025. My bad. They don't have leap calls.
Oh, how far out does it go?
October 2025. That's goofy.
Yeah, it is. Cool.
That's whack. Yeah, that's just goofy. That's all I have to say. Really, really strong, prolonged downtrend. It's just ugly. It's a decelerating trend. So that's when you have lower highs and then you have steeper lower highs. The pressure's just really hunkering it down. Technically, it looks trash. Fundamentally, it makes sense. You know? Fundamentally makes total sense to me.
What's the ETF again?
Just ETH. Grayscale Ethereum Mini ETF.
ETH, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying, man. Hey.
It's something to consider. I mean, yeah, if you want to take a stab
what about ETHU? No, that's Ethereum.
That's the double levered one. ETHU. It went through a reverse split because it got clapped so much. It could be wheeled though, but only for a short period of time. See, like up here, it's totally fine. Look, this was at 250. Now it's down to 22. 250 to 22. So that double levered really hammers any longer term investors, especially if it can't stabilize. Now, if you can catch a good bull run, like look at this kind of base right here. You really shouldn't be charting out the double levered one. But look, you buy this breakout 133, you make 85% in like a month. So wait for those clean setups.
All right, I'm with it. All right, cool, man. But what's the fear and greed index at right now?
Yeah. So the fear and greed index, last we talked about it, it was at 4. And I was saying, this is like an RSI. You can buy when there's just straight extreme fear. The world is not ending, although it may feel like it sometimes. Yeah. That's some of the best buying points. Buy when the fear and greed is at 0 to 4. Most of the time, you can get a bounce. Now, if we're at extreme greed of 99 or 100, that's a good time to sell, go short, do whatever you want. That's something to consider. So this is sentiment in the market. How do people feel about the stock market? They're scared. Sometimes
so that's not low enough for you to start buying shit right now.
You know, that's the $1 million question. I think SPY, if it does get some strength, I'm going to keep an eye out on SPY over this Wednesday Trump pump. So that's a bit away, 548. Maybe if SPY could get above 543, it could probably get up to 565. 565 is like, for me, potentially I might take a big short position, similar to I took big long positions at 480, and that paid off. That paid off really well. I didn't play it perfectly. I did sell them like literally the next day when I got 7% bump. But I think 565, look for a rejection there. If it rejects there, I'd look for some shorts. And I already am kind of short SPY. You can take a look at some of my SPX positions. I've got some bear call credit spreads. May. So basically I'm saying SPY, I think you're going to be beneath 53.40 in May. June, SPY or SPX, I think you're going to be underneath 5,300. What's cool about this trade right here is I'm only risking $200. That's the most I can lose. I don't even need to do anything with the trade. I don't need to close it out, do nothing. But I can make $300. So I make $300 if SPY is just SPX is underneath 5,300. It's cash settled. Don't have to worry about assignment, tax advantaged. I think that's the way to go.
All right.
Cool, one last thing. So if you're looking for just some income, we talked about ET last time on the podcast. ET going up 5% since then. Consumer staples, XLP, looking strong, you know, relative strength there. And then if you're also looking for income, XLU, utility sector, pays 3% a year. And it's also a defensive sector. I wouldn't trade options on this though until it really starts to break out over 81-ish. Then you could look at buying call options. But shares, I think, are a good risk-adjusted way to get involved. And then lastly, just gold and silver. Look for dip buys on them. Just wait for dip buys. Wait for the RSI's overbought on the daily. Not a big deal. RSI's can stay overbought for a long period of time. But if it ever gets oversold, you know, I'm going to snag some long-term.
For sure.
That's all I have, man. Though.
Appreciate it, guys. If you want to trade with us, well, first of all, you can learn more about this stuff for free in our Victory Unit Discord, right? I have other free courses in there. The links in the description. I have courses on fat. I got fat loss course. I got a course called the Baller Mindset that's free. Like, it's an amazing course. And you know, I'm putting free stuff in there all the time. And Greg's giving some free stock tips in there. Yeah, you want to trade with us? You get Greg's trade alert straight to your phone every day, like me, and you can trade with us live every morning at the market open. Go ahead, hit Greg up and say, yo, hit Greg, Young Candlestick, say, yo, I want to join Victory Trades. And he'll point you in the right direction.
I'll leave you a voice note. I'll say what's up.
All right.
All right, take care. Peace.
For sure. Peace. All right. Think we got some super chats.
We have Torres. Hey, Brandon, when you trained people, would you recommend they do the keto illegal stack?
It depends on the person, you know. It depends on a person. When I was some of the pro athletes, I wouldn't have them take Ephedra or no shit like that, you know. And I'm gonna talk about that later in this video, in this episode. But it really depends on the person, how extreme they are. I have. The answer is some people yes, most people no. Most people ain't ready for that smoke. You know what I'm saying? But good question.
We have Bullish Ivan. This is a two-part. Asked if I should wait to coach. You said start and document. That's stuck. Down 20 pounds. 30 to go. Joined HTT last week. Finished onboarding. Now on module 5.
Nice.
What should I post daily while still mid-transformation? Can I follow the epic strategy now or wait? Want to give value without acting like I've got it all figured out.
Yeah, you first of all talk about, hey man, here's I lost 20 pounds. Here's I lost 20, because a lot of people want to lose 20 pounds, right? You know, and that's more believable to the average like fat guy, that he can lose 20 pounds, then he can look like a fucking fitness model, right? So it's going to resonate with him. Here's what I did to lose the 20 pounds in however much time it took, right? And just start documenting what you did. Start just give advice on what you did. Show your before and after picture. So if you have videos, that's dope. That's even better. And show it, put it on screen and talk about it. Matter of fact, watch the HCT. You know what to do? Watch the HCT training from last week. It's going to like really be helpful for you. And what you're going to do is you're going to make all the kind of videos that I suggested in that training, but it's going to be about, here's how I lost the first 20 pounds, right? And you can even say in your video, I'm still on my fat loss. I'm on my fat loss journey. I got a lot of ways, but here's how I lost my first 20 pounds, right? Then you can say, hey, man, I'm still got a lot more ways to go, but here's how I've made the progress I've made so far. Boom, but you'll make the kind of videos that I said on the training. Go watch someone from last week. It's in the Facebook group. It should be posted by now. All right. Shout out to you, homie. All right, cool, man. Hey, let's get back into, speaking of fat loss, let's get back into fat loss tips. You know what I'm saying? All right, if you're just joining us, I've been talking about some extreme shit to do to burn fat for the summer. Remember, this is not no pussy shit. This ain't about being sustainable, right? That's fucking sucker shit. These influencers want you to do something that's sustainable because they think you a pussy. They think you're not tough enough to do nothing hardcore. You know what I'm saying? But the motherfuckers in the best shape are doing hardcore shit. Believe you me, right? All that sustainable shit is for motherfuckers who want to look average. You know what I'm saying? And these influencers, it's easy to sell you sustainable shit, but it's stupid because to lose fat, you have to be in a caloric deficit. You have to burn more calories than you consume. It's literally a mild form of starvation, right? Why would you want to sustain starvation? How about you just get in your ideal shape as fast as possible, do something badass to get in your ideal shape quickly, and then sustain your ideal shape? Doesn't that make more fucking sense? Sustain the way you want to look, not sustain the mild starvation, which is a caloric deficit. Anyway, I'm a G, so that's what I suggest you do. If you a pussy, this ain't the video for you. This ain't the channel for you. I'm not your guy. You know what I'm saying? You need to get fat loss advice from like a mom or like some fucking 19-year-old girl, who's making smoothies and shit. Like get some shit from that white girl. Go get a workout plan from that white girl on Instagram who's collecting fucking crystals and shit. And she's gonna have you make a vision board and tell you to journal. Make a motherfucking gratitude journal like a bitch. You know what I'm grateful for? Not knowing a pussy nigga like you. All right. You out here taking advice from bitches who suck dick. Anyway. All right. So we talked about a few things. The main thing I talked about was working. I talked about keeping a scale with you, tracking your calories, right? I gave you a workout. I gave you a diet plan, right? You want to be in at least a 500 calorie deficit every day. Then you go, and then it got more extreme. I said, walk between 20,000 and 40,000 steps per day. The next thing you should do, you don't have to do this forever. Remember, you don't have to. I'm not telling you to do nothing sustainable. That's pussy shit. I want you to be hardcore, right? Is try the ketogenic diet, right? You don't need to do keto to lose weight. I want to be clear about that. You can't. All you need to do is be in a caloric deficit. That's why I started with tracking your calories, right? However, the ketogenic diet has some advantages that you don't get from caloric restriction alone. Matter of fact, you don't have to believe me. Let's listen to the friend of the show, Greg Doucette, talk about it.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's probably from when he cycles or when he walks on a treadmill. Because he walks on a treadmill a lot
early in the morning. Does a morning walk.
Yeah,
he's also keto, so he's not eating carbs, so they probably benefit.
Morning walk.
Yeah,
he's also keto, so he's not eating carbs, so they probably benefits from not having as much of an appetite. Like he's limiting certain food groups. People who eat less food groups, like less carbs, they're often less hungry. Problem is, some people feel like shit. Like I can't follow that diet, like a keto diet. I can't.
Yeah, some people feel like shit. I'm not telling you. I feel great when I do keto, right? Some people feel like shit, right? We're only doing this for a little bit of time. It's not supposed to be sustainable, ho. I'm gonna give you some advice so you don't feel like shit, because I'm gonna tell you why most people feel like shit. But the most important part is he said that you're not as hungry. This is great. This is internet superstar Greg Doucette talking about me doing keto, and he says, hey, he probably benefits because it makes you less hungry. And let's say you don't like Greg, right? Let's say you don't like Greg. Well, you do like science, right? So here's a study showing that ketogenic diet actually reduces hunger, right? Check this out. Study, boom. Effects of high protein ketogenic diet on hunger, appetite loss. You can Google this shit on your own. I'm not going to read it to you, right? But it actually studies that show that the ketogenic diet makes you less hungry. Why is that important? Because remember, it's all calories in, calories out, right? But if you're not hungry, it's easier for you to what? Consume less calories, right? So a lot of times people are like, oh man, I'm dieting, I'm just hungry all the time. Not if you're doing keto, if you're doing it right. And we're going to talk about that in this video, right? But not if you're doing keto, according to the fucking science. According to the science, right? So what is the ketogenic diet, right? So typically, it's really just a macronutrient. The ketogenic diet is typically just a macronutrient ratio, right? Which is 70 to 75% fat, 20 to 25% protein, and you keep your carbs at 5 to 10% carbs, right? Typically, you want to keep your net carbs between 20 and 50 grams. I don't like to go over 50 net carbs, right? I don't go over 50 net carbs, right? That's you're doing a ketogenic diet. Now, some people say, man, I feel like shit when I do it. 100% of the time, when people say they feel like shit when they're doing keto, I ask them this, man, were you tracking your calories when you're doing keto? Were you tracking your macros? And they were like, they always say 100% of the time, they say no. 100% of the time, they say no. Well, hey, asshole. How do you know you were doing keto if you weren't tracking your macros? You know, the ketogenic diet is just it's all it is a macronutrient ratio. If you are not tracking the macros, how do you know you were following the ratio? Oh, I was eating fucking butter and steak. And I was eating butter, steak, and bacon all day. You mean to tell me your goofy ass ate butter and bacon all day and you're surprised you felt like shit? No, stupid. You weren't doing it right. We don't know if you're doing keto or not, right? Because eating low carbs is not necessarily being keto. You get what I'm saying? It's not necessarily, if you're not following the ratio, we don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're doing something, but it's not the ketogenic diet, right? And the reason it's important is because how the ketogenic diet works. When you consume the traditional Western diet, your body converts carbohydrates into glucose or glycogen, right? And that's the fuel that your body runs off, right? In the absence of glucose, when carbs are low, there's not enough glucose. What has happened? In the absence of glucose, your body is going to produce something called ketones. It will convert fat in your body and the fat that you eat into something called ketones. And that becomes the new fuel your body runs off of. All right. If your macronutrients are off, guess what, asshole? You're not going to get carbs. You're not getting enough carbs from glucose. And you're not getting enough. And you're not making ketones either. Right. So some people, they eat low carb and it's not keto, right? They get just enough carbs where their body doesn't make ketones, but it's not enough glucose for them not to have, but it's not enough glucose for them to have energy. Does that make sense? You just fucking out here guessing, right? Start tracking, you bitch ass motherfucker, right? Tracking your calories and macros is not as hard as you think. It's not as hard as you think. Right? It's just put numbers in a phone. That's not that difficult. That's not that difficult, man. You know it's difficult? Motherfuckers who be cleaning my windows in my fucking penthouse. Scaling the windows like a Latino Spider-Man, cleaning the windows, man. That's difficult. I'm just telling you to put numbers in the phone. You pussy. Fucking hoes. Matter of fact, I hate you. You know what? Let me calm down. All right. But if you're doing it right, you should have more energy and less hunger. Honestly, if you're doing it right. Some people don't feel good on that diet because they're not tracking their macros. 100% of people. Now, there's some other things you can do. We'll talk about it later in this video that will help you, right? We'll talk about supplements that will help you have more energy, right? But you got to track your calories. Now, some people just don't like keto. They have a lot of misconceptions about it, right? Again, it's still all calories in, calories out. You will be less hungry if you do it right. But also, I mean, there are some studies that show that the ketogenic diet burns more fat. For example, here's a study right here. I'm gonna show you right now. Is that the ketogenic diet, the participants who did keto in the study lost 2 times the fat as people on just a caloric restriction diet. It's right here. It's a randomized trial compared. It's right in here. It's right in here. They lost twice as much. I mean, whatever. But listen, I know people don't want to hear that shit. It's like all you got to do is the research, right? And people say, "Oh man, you lose muscle on keto. You lose muscle on keto." Man, here's a study right here, man. Like check this out: the effects of ketogenic diet on skeleton, muscle, and fat mass. They had some people on keto, they had some people on regular, and they had them diet. The results: lean body mass increased to a greater extent on people on a very low carbohydrate ketogenic diet. That's what that stands for, as compared to people who are on the standard Western diet. Right? Ultrasound determined that muscle mass increased in the keto group as compared to traditional Western diet group. And finally, fat mass decreased to a greater extent from the keto group to the people who, I mean, I'm just showing you the facts, man. You know, don't argue with me. It's the science. Take it up with the fucking researchers. I know some of you guys hate keto, right? Take it up with the fucking researchers. It's right there, you know? Then people say it's going to lower your testosterone. I don't know where they got that from. I don't know where people get it, just because there's a study right here. Ketogenic diet improves, it's in the title of this study. Ketogenic state improves testosterone serum levels, result from systematic review and meta-analysis. Like, it's right here, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's right here. And this is a meta-analysis based off several studies. You know what I'm saying? All right. So that's not true. Then, and I don't have no keto shit to sell you, right? I just want you to fucking get in shape fast, right? Then people say it's just not healthy, right? Ketogenic diet leads, here's a study says ketogenic diet leads to improvement in health status and delayed aging and the development of related diseases through improving mitochondria functions, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory states. Check it out. It's right here. Yeah. Keto evoked blah, blah, blah. It effect led to improved health status, delayed both aging and development of related diseases. Come on, man. It's right here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's right here. It's right here in the study. Boom. We got another one. Ketogenic diet. It helps. One of the major things is one of the best benefits I've gotten from keto is improved immune system. I have not been sick or had a cold in 8 years. 8 years, right? When you motherfuckers had C19, I was walking around New York City like I am legend. I was totally immune to that shit. All right. My girlfriend had C19 3 times. 3 times. I'm over here eating off her plate after I weighed this shit. Right. Drinking, sharing, drinking out the same bottle as her, kissing her in the mouth, having unprotected sex with her. What motherfuckers supposed to be supposed to be 6 feet away from each other when they got COVID. You supposed to be 6 feet away from a motherfucker with COVID. I was 9 inches deep in a motherfucker with COVID. Did I go too far? Neiman, did I go too far? Can we say that on YouTube? We're about to find out. All right. But if you think that's cap, I mean, here's a study right here, man. Ketogenic diet and its role in immunity. It is blatantly shows that it increases immunity. Right. The ketogenic diet was invented by doctors. When people say it's not healthy, it's like, doctors invented this shit, right? It was invented by doctors in 1920. You know what I'm saying? And it's safe to do long term. Like, this is not supposed to be sustainable. You don't have to do long term. If you want to do it long term, you can. Here's a study showing long term effects of ketogenic diet on obese statements. Conclusions. Present studies show the benefits of ketogenic diet on present studies show the beneficial effects of long term ketogenic diet. It significantly blah 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 blah. Significantly reduced body weight and body mass index of patients. Furthermore, decrease their triglycerides. Blah 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 blah. Administering ketogenic diet for a relatively longer period of time did not produce any significant side effects for patients. Therefore, the present study confirms that it's safe to use the ketogenic diet for longer periods of time than previously demonstrated. Right? If you got a problem with me, don't trust me, right? Trust the science. You guys like science, right? Anyway, that's extreme. Another thing about the ketogenic diet, you will lose a ton of water weight as well, right? You will lose a ton of water weight when you're on keto. Not the study actually said fat, right? The study said fat, but that also reduces water weight. And people always say, man, you just lose water. No, you don't just lose water, but you do lose water as well. But when you lose water, you look better, right? This is why before a bodybuilding show or a physique show or bikini show, motherfuckers dehydrate themselves because you look better when you lose more water weight. You will look leaner. You will be more muscular. You will be more vascular. You will look better. You will not be all bloated. You will look great, all right? So there's that too, right? I think I made a strong case for the ketogenic diet. Just do it till summer, man. You can go back to eating carbs in the summer if you don't want to sustain. If you want something sustainable, I've been doing it for 8 years in a row. So when people say it's not sustainable, I was like, oh, it's not sustainable for you because you a pussy. You know what I'm saying? You's a bitch. I'm not you, motherfucker. Say it's not sustainable for you, fat boy. Say it's not sustainable for you, faggot. Yeah. Foul. Flag on the play. I went too hard. All right. Hey, next thing you do, we're gonna the next thing we're gonna do is start taking some supplements, right? First supplement you need to take is creatine, right? Creatine. You need to take creatine because it's going to help you retain more muscle during this extreme caloric deficit. And here's a study showing that so in this study said the people actually, what did it say right here?
The preservation of fat-free mass compared to those having the placebo.
Oh yeah. So these people actually burn more fat, right? When they were using creatine in this study, right? So it says what they had two groups, one creatine group and one placebo group. And it says while both groups experienced similar decrease in body weight and body fat percentage, the placebo group showed a 2%. So basically, the placebo group lost 2%, lost twice as much muscle in this group. They lost twice as much muscle, right? Creatine supplementation affects muscle creatine during energy restriction, right? Would mean energy restriction, calories are energy, right? Just read the study if you want it. They retain twice as much muscle as the people who did not take creatine. Everybody should take creatine. Even if you don't work out, you should take creatine. I'm telling you, it's good for you. because like creatine actually increases cognitive function, right? It actually makes your brain work better. Here's a study right here, right? Creatine supplementation of cognitive function for healthy individuals, right? This study proved that it made people's brain work better, right? It increased cognitive function. Everybody take creatine, even if you don't work out, just for brain health, right? But that's not why you're watching this. You're not watching this shit for brain health. Fuck, I forgot to write the. So basically, if you take creatine, you will retain more muscle. Another thing you can do to retain more muscle is actually you still want to lift weights, but lift heavy. Lift heavy, right? If you lift heavy and take creatine, and if you get enough protein, right? Remember I told you the keto macros, you'll retain more muscle, right? So, but if you don't want to do keto, because you a bitch, it's fine, right? Just make sure you get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, right? That's going to signal to your body to retain more muscle, right? Then you add creatine. The study just showed that you will retain twice as much muscle if you take creatine. All right. Next thing we need to take is caffeine. Oh, how much creatine should you take? Listen, for muscle building, muscle retention purposes, 5 milligrams is great. 5 milligrams 5 grams of creatine a day is just fine. Just get regular creatine monohydrate, right? However, there's a lot of studies that come out. There's a lot of studies coming out showing that for brain health, if you want to take it for brain health and actually to improve your mood, up to like 20 grams a day. It's not only is it safe, but it actually improves your cognitive function even more. Like the more you take, like 20 grams a day, right? I got clowned mercilessly for saying I take 10 grams a day like 10 years ago. But now there's like tons of studies coming out saying like 20 grams a day are good. In fact, let me show you something. I need to show them this or Nima, or they're going to fucking act all fucking weird. Hold on. Let me find it. Where did I have? Hold on. I'll be sir. Hold up. I want to find this thing to show them that. Shoot. Can I search you ever use Gemini to search? I want to do a whole video on creatine, man. Just how. Yeah. I you know what? No, I know what to search. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Nima, do something. Do something. I was clowned mercilessly like 10 years ago for saying I take 10 grams of creatine a day, right? But fucking, I'm 200 fucking pounds, right? Like, you mean to tell me a child should take the same amount? But check this out. These are some white science people talking. Just watch it.
Muscle. The best studies for the brain look at 20 grams a day for at least a week. So now you're in a conundrum. I'm looking at muscle, bone, and brain. And the theory here is that since the blood-brain barrier is very resistant to creatine, and unfortunately we have this really important glial cell called astrocytes, which are the biggest in our central nervous system.
Whatever. I'm not going to show you this whole video. You can watch it on your own. It's Dr. Rhonda Patrick. She's a white science lady. And this white science man was on here saying that 20 grams a day, right, helps improve brain function. Right? You should actually watch this video. It's fucking really good. You know, talking about creatine. And, you know, the white science man in this video, he says that he takes between 10 and 20 grams a day. All right. You know what I'm saying? All right. So check this out. Where else am I at? Okay. The next supplement you need to take is caffeine. Oh, I'm sorry. Before the creatine, at least take 5 grams a day. At least take 5 grams a day, right? For muscle. I take more for the other benefits, for like brain health benefits and cognitive function, but at least 5 grams a day, right? Next supplement you need to take is caffeine. Right? Caffeine. All right. Now, check this out. Here's a study showing that if you take caffeine before exercise, it significantly increases the rate that fat oxidizes. So fat loss is a 2-part process. It's lipolysis and oxidation. Lipolysis is when the fat cell is broken down into fatty acids, and oxidation is when your body uses those fatty acids for energy, right? So here's a study right here. Effects of caffeine intake on fat oxidation during exercise. Basically, you know, it helps you oxidize fat, right? But also, not only that, oh, fuck. Damn, I didn't put it on here. All right. But not only that, the studies show that we'll have to put it in post. There's studies that show that consuming caffeine actually helps you burn more fat. And this is one of the studies, well, this study too, right? It shows you oxidize more fat, but you also have more energy. You have more energy if you have caffeine. Let me show you how much caffeine works for performance enhancement. If you take too much caffeine in Olympics, you get disqualified. That's how you know it works. You can only take so much of it being in the Olympics, right? You ain't in the Olympics. You in life. So you can pump them numbers up, right? I take about 1,000 milligrams of caffeine a day. Not because I need it. People say, oh, why do you need that much? I don't need it, dipshit. I love it. I take it recreationally. You're taking it for fat loss, but also it's going to help you become less hunger, right? It's going to reduce your hunger, right? Caffeine is going to reduce your hunger and give you more energy because remember, you have to burn more calories you consume, right? Caffeine helps you become less hungry and you can move more. So you have more energy, all right? I forgot this study. There's another creatine study. This study shows that creatine helps improve cognitive function, right? Everybody should take creatine. Did I show that one already? I don't know.
I remember you showed one.
There's another one. Yeah, so I might have forgot the photo. This one shows that creatine improves cognitive function, right? Creatine makes your brain work better, right? Now the next supplement. Now how much caffeine should you take a day? This is what you're going to do. You know, take between 200 and 300 milligrams of caffeine 2 to 3 times a day, depending on your tolerance. I know it's a lot, right? I said extreme. You clicked on a video that said extreme. So I owe it to you to give you some extreme shit. Otherwise, it's clickbait. Don't say it's too extreme. Don't say this shit. It's supposed to be clickbait. This is what I do, right? If you die from this, it's still your fault, right? You got to take your own, you got You got to make your own decisions, homie. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you what I do. Now, the truth is you probably won't die. Most likely, almost none of you are going to die because the lethal dose. Oh, shit. The lethal dose of caffeine is 10,000 milligrams, right? I take 1,000 milligrams a day. It's like 10% of the lethal dose, man. Fucking light work. I could double that shit and still be fine, you know? Right? And there's a reason, like people kill themselves every day, but almost nobody decides to do it by taking too much caffeine, right? Because it's ineffective. You probably throw up first, right? Anyway, you'll be fine, dipshit. All right. Now, the next supplement you're going to take is Ephedra. Right? When I was a kid, every bodybuilding supplement had something called Ephedra in it. All right. And I guess some fucking kids died or something, and they stopped putting it in bodybuilding supplements, right? But the reason they put it in bodybuilding supplements is because it fucking works. It works, and it works well. Here's a study on Ephedra, right? Boom, efficacy of how effective. You read this shit on your own time. But it's a meta-analysis. It's one of the few supplements that really helps you burn fat. Right? It really helps you burn fat, but it also makes you less hungry. Right? Now, you can't get it in bodybuilding supplements in America anymore. If you're watching this from Europe or somewhere else, it's probably fine. You can get fucking roids legally in Europe. You can just straight up get some roids. Anyway, so yeah, Ephedra is not a big deal. You can still get Ephedra in America. You just have to go to the pharmacy. Give the chick your ID so she makes sure you're not breaking bad, and say you want something called Broncaid. It's an asthma medication, right? And you don't need a prescription. She'll give it to you, right? You take that you take one Broncaids 2 or 3 times a day, right? It will zap away all your hunger. It will totally diminish your hunger. Like now you're gonna have a problem hitting that the amount of calories that we talked about in the beginning, because you will not be hungry at all and you have tons of energy. Assess your tolerance. You're going to take it with your caffeine 2 to 3 times a day. That's what I do when I'm cutting. It's extreme. So it's crazy. It's crazy. You clicked on a video that said extreme fat loss hacks. If I don't give you some extreme shit, it'd have been clickbait. All right. You should be instead of talking shit in the comments, you need to be thanking me for giving you exactly what you asked for when you clicked on the shit. All right. But there's studies that show it works. All right. The next thing we're going to take is exogenous ketones. Right. This is when you mix these 3 together, it's called the keto illegal stack. 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine, 1 pill of Broncaid for the Ephedra, and then you're going to take a serving of exogenous ketones. There are a few things that crush hunger like exogenous ketones. All right, exogenous ketones, and the people who say they feel like shit when they're on keto. A lot of times it happens like that in the beginning. Even if you are tracking your macros, you might not feel great in the beginning because it takes your body some time to acclimate to the ketogenic diet and learn to start producing ketones. But if you take ketones, you get to skip the keto flu or all the other shit, right? It won't happen to you because you get the ketones immediately. You can also take the ketones even if you're not doing keto, right? It's just an alternative. It's just an alternative fuel source. Right. And so here is a study showing the effects of exogenous ketone supplementation and hunger and all that shit. This shit really works. You take these 3 together. You're going to take this 2 to 3 times a day. At the same time, you take your 2 to 300 milligrams of caffeine and your Broncaid. This will be the easiest cut you ever been on. You will feel amazing. And remember, you got to do all that walking, right? So you have so much energy, you're not going to be hungry, and each one of these things helps you burn fat, right? Either by making you less hungry or improving fat oxidation or lipolysis, right? The keto illegal stack. This is the cheat code, right? You do because it'll be easier for you to stick to your caloric deficit diet, and you're gonna have way more energy so you can get all them fucking steps. And remember, you still got to lift weights heavy, right? If you do this, you will get fucking ripped by summer. I promise you will get ripped. I promise you. Now, side effects include, but are not limited to, some shit you about to find out on your own. It's gonna be different for everybody, right? You might want to take it just one day to assess your tolerance, make sure you don't spaz out. Hey, if you end up in the hospital, maybe it's not for you, right? But I've never seen that happen. Right? But you're an adult, you got all this to make your own decision. You got Google, ChatGPT, you can look all this shit up yourself. You know what I'm saying? But take the keto legal stack once to assess your tolerance. Bump it up to 2, right? Then, if that's fine, bump it up to 3. You know what I'm saying? Bump it up to 3. Don't go past 3. I don't know what happened because I ain't never attempted it. But 3, this will be the first time you've ever went on a diet and felt great. Like when I do this shit, I have more energy. Because that stack goes hard. You know what I'm saying? All right. Listen. Also, let's say you are in shape and you want to start helping other people get in shape. You want to start your online. You can make some money doing that, right? Online training, man. You don't have to have a big following. You don't have to have certification. That's a lie, right? You don't have to even have a lot of experience. You can learn how to grow your online fitness business. I got a free ebook to show you how, called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. I've helped over 15,000 people start successful online fitness businesses. I made my first $1 million as an online trainer. Check out the ebook. See if it's right for you. You may read the book and be like, oh, no, this is not right for me. I don't want to do this, right? Or you may read it and be like, damn, I would love to help change other people's lives through fitness, right? And if that's you, then this is the perfect career for you, right? If not, yeah. Well, but you won't know that until you read the book. It's 100% free. All right. Download the link in the description. What I didn't mean to do the whole hour on that shit. How many super chats we got?
Torres said that he took caffeine and Ephedra, had him awake for 23 hours. It works.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Shout out to you. You got a lot of work done. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll holler at y'all.